Where'd you grow up?
I grew up in East New York, Brooklyn. I was playing saxophone since 4th grade. So, and then in 1977, you know, my father bought me my first DJ set. We had a family gathering up in the Bronx, and you know, the parents and all the adults were hanging out, and my cousin Freddie, who wrote Mean, who turned me on to this
M-E-A-N?
M-E-A-N, but not the one that everybody knows. He was a local guy from East Harlem. But we went to the hallway to go look at trains because the 4 trains was running outside. They was like, oh, Yosemite Sam, and I was like, where? And when the doors closed, I saw Yosemite Sam, and that's when my head turned, and I was like, oh, that's crazy. Like, it went beyond anything I can think about. So
that's when you got the bug.
That's when I got the bug, when I saw that. And then I started, you know, as a young kid, then I started what you call benching. You know, I started watching trains. You know, like I looked at trains for many years. Actually, my first time going to a yard is 1985. I was actually going to LaGuardia Community College in Queens, and I hooked up with some writers. Kind of crazy, but you know, they were from the Bronx, and you know, I was coming in from Brooklyn and going to school, and you know, they was just like, yo, we ride on trains, and you know, we started tagging in a book, and I kind of stood quiet for, you know, a couple of weeks, you know, because I was just like, these dudes are probably like bullshitting or whatever. So they came in with pictures. A writer called Kent 3, he came in with pictures, and I was blown away. I was like, oh, this dude really knows how to get in and out of the yard.
Well, the first time you went into the yard, how many cans were you carrying?
You know, I actually didn't bring that much. I bring, you know, maybe 10 cans, because I was just like, you don't know what to expect. I was just like,
do you remember the colors you picked?
Oh yeah, it was a red outline with a yellow fill-in, with green and beige. You know, I picked specific colors. It was, to be honest with you, it was based off of a piece that I saw in the Hall of Fame by a writer named Sem, with T-A-T. I saw the color combination, like he faded it from orange to yellow, and it was beautiful. And I was just like, all right. So you know, I took a picture and I studied it, and I was like, this is the combination I'm going to use. By the time '85 came around, the trains were just full of throw-ups. There wasn't really no pieces floating. You know, once in a while you see, you know, like a John 1 or a poem or whatever. Dero was doing single pieces, but you know, I noticed there was a void of like whole cars. You know, like, you know, like 5 years prior to that. Probably like 1 in the morning. You know, Esplanade, we went to the pullouts, and there was a little bridge that's over there by the 2 train close by Allerton, if I'm correct. And we you know, if I'm correct, the hole is still in the fence. That first night, you know, we did that whole car in about 3 hours. We were moving quick because we were nervous, so we got it done. And I was just like, this is what I want to do. And you know, after I did that, I waited at East Tremont that morning. I didn't even go to bed, which you should never go to sleep. Like, it's 1985, 86. You just stay up and wait for your train. Otherwise, you're never going to catch it with windows.
You know, when I first decided to do this tribute to first generation hip hop, and I wanted an artist to come work at the event so people could see how masterpieces are made and stuff.
Right.
I called up Phase 2 because I consider him really the creator of Wild Style and the guy who, I mean, like, how does he feel that Phase 2 picked you out of all the people in the world to be this representative?
What he did for this culture is incredible. Even from the throw up to the technical Wild Style, he developed all that. He started with what he called the marshmallow letters. You know, so he did those things early on. He influenced his own generation. You know, his own generation of writers he influenced. So if you're writing today and you're on top of your game, you know, you may not realize it, but there's something that you're doing that was influenced by him. I'm also good friends with a writer named Vulcan. Now Vulcan and FaZe are very, very close friends, and they're very adamant about style, about being the best style and having the most original style. And when I met them, I was just a train rider, and I was just trying to do, you know, I was doing a little bit of wild style. I was kind of doing what I saw already. You know, I was like influenced from the T-Kids, the TATs, the Bios, and all of that. And you know, they was just like, all right, now that you got a million pieces running, now you're gonna have to step it up. And I just looked at them like, what? They was like, you know, like now you have to develop something on your own. You know, something distinctive that people are gonna know and is gonna respect. And as your friend and your boy, if you want our respect, you're gonna have to earn it. And that really boiled me over. You know, that took me, you know, I was kind of pissed off for months, and really what that did was I went home and developed something new. My brother used to sell weed. I had tried it once, and I think I was just giggling or whatever. And after that, it wasn't like all the time. It was just, my brother had so much of it. Like I remember putting it in the rice, just experimenting with it. And I don't know if I got stoned or whatever, but I know it tasted good with the rice. So that was interesting. But he was the first one that really turned me on it, and at that time it was something that everybody was talking about, Acapulco Gold. So did I know any better? No, I just knew it was good. And after a while I started getting into different things because I was doing music, I was dancing and doing my art and stuff like that. And really, like I'm gonna go back to when they started, when FaZe and Vulcan were pushing me to do a different style. I like smoking some weed was that was something that put me in a zone, in a great place, because I would be by myself in my room, and that really helped me, motivate me to do something different. Because I just remember going, what am I gonna do here? I don't understand. What am I supposed to do? And you asked me, smoking some weed and just chilling, listening to some music and smoking some weed, help my imagination just expand, just to be open to something else. Now, I want to invite you guys to the 23rd annual Cannabis Cup. I'm going to be there hosting with my painting. The guys in Amsterdam, if you got some good writers, come check out Dome. I want to check out what you got, and maybe you can come piece with me. Come to the Power Zone on November 19th. I'll be there painting. Hope to see you guys there. Be there, be square. Peace.